Everyone is arguing about this husband and wife right here. But I think we're missing the bigger issue. So let's assume for a hot minute that this is a real life situation, okay? So what we don't know from that short clip is how sick the child is. We don't know whether it's a critical condition, an emergency situation, or it's a situation where it's not that bad, but it's being, exaggerated. We don't know. We also don't know if that child was left in the care of somebody else while the mom stepped out to go for her meeting, okay? We also don't know what happened before the clip, but in that kind of situation, there will most have likely been underlying tension before this thing blew out to the surface in front of people, okay? It could be a situation where the man is controlling, the man is coercive, the man is narcissistic, or something like that, okay? And just wanted a situation where he will come out to embarrass his wife in public, okay? Or it could be a situation where the mother is actually a negligent person and has had a pattern of, not showing empathy or care for her sick child. Indeed, there are mothers like that. Let's not even take away from that part, okay? Not every woman is actually maternal, okay? We need to sit with the fact that some mothers are not good mothers. Okay, the way we call out bad fathers, there are bad mothers that need calling out. So, like I said, we don't know the underlying issues, okay? But if it came to a head in public, there has been tension brewing under the surface. When I saw this clip, the Facebook page, I saw this clip, okay? There wasn't any context behind the man's outburst, okay? I just saw a man walk up to the woman, tug her, and then next thing, everywhere scatter, The first thing I thought was, no, there is no reason. There is no excuse for this thing to have happened at all. There is no excuse for a man to come to the public to want to force, embarrass, or any kind of crazy public display with his wife. In the same vein, it shouldn't happen if the situation was flipped and it's the man at a meeting and the woman came to tug him and he says, you have to leave this place. See, there is no reason where in a healthy relationship that should be happening at all. Now, by the time I got some context that, okay, there's a sick child involved, again, there is no reason why the man, there is no reason why the man should be at the meeting embarrassing his wife in public, when that same time he used to commute to the venue, the same time he's using to create this embarrassing scenario is the same time that he should have been with his sick child. You see, a sick child isn't just one parent's responsibility. Hello. And the thing is that the society we're in tends to put the burden, the load of parenting on women mostly or alone. This is the reason why when we see a sick child and we see a father tending to his sick child, we're asking, where's the mother? Rarely do we ask when we find a mother tending to her sick child, where's the father to care for this child? Do you get what I'm saying? Do you get where I'm going with this? We have a societal bias concerning parenting, and that load is more on women. And we're saying that, no, this is not right. Two people make a baby. It takes two to tango to make a baby. It should take two to tango to raise a child. It should take two to tango to care for a sick child. It's not one person's burden. If he had a problem with his wife stepping out to go to a meeting while the child was sick, what is uppermost? What is the priority is the child's well-being. Assuming that child is in an emergency or a critical situation, look, where he should be at is with the child, not at the meeting his wife went to. On the other part, Let's assume that your child is sick as a mother and, you feel that, okay, you've left this child in good hands for you to go step into something, take care of other business and while you now get back to your child. What's the reason why your husband is going to call you when you know you have a sick child? Okay, let's assume the relationship between the mother and the father are not even good, but you have a sick child. And then you're getting calls from the man and you're not picking. And this person is calling you to give you information about the progress of your child. I mean, something is deeply wrong if this was a real situation. And truly, this is some people's reality. Tell me why communication would have broken down in that home enough that you are putting your sick child as a living sacrifice for you and your husband's bullshit, for you and your husband's shenanigans. The first red flag for me is a public confrontation between a couple that is problematic. Something is deeply wrong, and it's not the sick child that is the issue. There's so much more there. If you go down the video, there's a part where the man said something about, okay, because you're making more money than me. Hello. So it may really not be about the child. It may be that he has even bloated the situation about the child just to come and prove a point to this woman that thinks she is something because she has money. Again, like I said, these are things that a couple need to deal with privately. And if you cannot find resolution privately, hello, how about you end the relationship amicably? See, I am an advocate for marriage. I love love. I am also an advocate for divorce because if a marriage is healthy, it should stay. And if a marriage is consistently and persistently unhealthy, it needs to end so that it doesn't end the people that are involved. Even in an emergency situation, respect is critical between a man and a woman, between a husband and a wife, between the father of the child and the mother of the child. Respect is key. Respect is reciprocal. It's very important. You can't have a healthy relationship without having respect for each other. So, aside from our emotions being all over the place, I think the logical question we need to be asking is that why is it that it's the woman that needs to leave to take care of the child? Why isn't the expectation that it's both parents that should respond to their sick child? Our society always expects women to pause themselves, to pause work, to pause their goals, to pause things that concern them because of childcare. But that equal expectation is not there for fathers. We have a problem on our hands. You come on social media and you see people say that fathers should help too. You see some fathers who are making content about, them being helpers and all that. But look, helping means that it's not your job. When you say you are helping to take care of your children, it means it's not your job. It means that you are in a support role. The way you have substitute teachers, then you are the substitute parent. Okay? But you see, parenting is a very active role for men and for women, for fathers and for mothers. You are not helping anybody to take care of your child. It is your child. I saw somewhere in the clip where the man said she should go home and take care of her child. So now it's her child. It's her child. This child answers his own name. Hello. When the child is doing good, they'll say, okay. But when it is time for the labor, you remember it's the mother, that's her child. We have a flawed mentality, a warped mindset with regards to parenting. We need to begin to think differently. You see, it's understandable when fathers have to travel to work and they're not present. That whole dynamic is a little nuanced, all right? But as long as a father is present, let your people, let your children feel your presence. Let them know that daddy is here. You have to be involved. You have to participate. You have to put yourself in. You're diving in, hands on, full on, everything. when you're around. This is for men who are not usually around because of work. It's a shared responsibility. Even if you are working, when you come home, be involved with your children. Participate with your children. Know your children and let them know you, especially because of tomorrow. So it won't look like you are just a figurehead there. So that it won't look like you are just present, but you are not involved with them. Presence has levels. You can live with people, but you're not involved with them. You can live with your children, but you're not involved with your children. That is a tragedy for any parent. Please, this needs to change. Parenting is not just for mothers. You see, healthy parenting involves shared responsibilities. Healthy parenting involves communication. Healthy parenting requires mutual respect for each other. Healthy parenting requires teamwork and not score keeping. And this is whether the parents are married or not. That you are not married to your spouse doesn't give you a get out of jail card for parenting. Nuh-uh. Two of you did the work to bring this person to life. Two of you will do the work to bring this person to maturity. And this thing where once we hear children being ill or being ill behaved, then we think, where's the mother? The mother didn't do well. It needs to stop. It needs to stop. We need to think, where's the father too? Where are the parents? It's okay if a father is the one caring for a sick child. It's okay. It's also okay if it's a mother that's caring for the sick child. There should be balance. Taking care of children isn't one man's job because one man didn't bring them to this world.